Hey guys, this is a human geography slideshow, PowerPoint. I made one yesterday about the physical geography of North America. This is the human geography of North America. And it basically is human geography is humans and how we are affected by or affect uh, things on the earth. And it basically encompasses all things humans. You know, what we do politically, economically, socially, all those things are part of human geography. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The question, as it pertains to North America, is why are we a global power and our friends to the north a power as well? And the first thing that comes up is our military might, our ability to use our armed forces as a true weapon against many other countries or as a threat against other countries is a very powerful thing, a very important part of our arsenal in dealing with others. Makes us a superpower. The other thing is our ability to produce things, manufacturing or large industries. You can see these pictures, timber industry, coal or mining industry, our oil, and our alternative energy, which has become a big deal over the last few years. So those are also reasons for us being a superpower. The other, and the big part of here in North America, especially in the United States, is our natural resources. We are global powers. We are a global power because of the things you see pictured. Military might also has to do with our government, our industries and manufacturing, and our vast natural resources make us global powers and our neighbors to the north a significant player on the world scene. Remember, this is human geography. This is all things that we do as humans. Again, more pictures of us are why we are a global power. You will see the guy up here plowing the wheat, not plowing the wheat, picking the wheat, and this guy over here creating engines. And down here at the bottom, pictures of or a chart showing our real GDP, trade being part of our real GDP, and you can see the numbers pretty high for the United States. Pretty low, I guess, for the United States. Other reasons for us being a power, a skilled labor force. That means we have people who work, for the most part, who have skills, have a certain skill set, which would whether it be, being a teacher or working in a factory or whatever it may be. You have a certain skill, and that allows you to be productive in society. Natural resources, which you saw a picture of a minute ago, and a stable political system. We have our Constitution. Our government's divided up in three branches: legislative, executive, judicial, and you can see the separation of powers from each branch. The third, or the other thing up here, is the service industry. 80% of the people who work in the service industry, whether it be a teacher or a restaurant business, hotel business, anything where you provide a service to people, that makes you in the service industry. And there are a lot of people who are a part of that type of business. The Canadians, they have less natural resources than we do, have a smaller population, but we are economic allies and part of the NAFTA trade agreement between us, Canada, and Mexico. But we are trade partners or economic allies with the Canadians. You can see from this chart right here where the majority of people live, persons per square kilometer. Okay, all in the southern part. Remember, as you climb north, you get to very, very cold temperatures, not so fertile land, and just very, very difficult to live in these areas. Okay, but they still have some things like timber as a big part of their economic activities, their economic successes. And that's the taiga. We all know about that. Draping apart across Canada. Immigration. The immigration is a big part of our success economically. A big part of our success just in general in the United States. We are a magnet for others to come to with our freedoms and our abilities to pursue what we want. Okay, people from Europe, especially back in the old days, people from Africa, Central South America, and more recently Asia. As far as the United States goes, remember, the Louisiana Purchase was a huge thing for us. Right off the bat, it doubled our size. Okay, doubled our size, gave us access to this entire thing out here that we end up calling the Great Plains, which is tons of fertile soil. End up being the breadbasket of America, okay, of the world. But it was a huge part of the growth of the United States and also eventually the success economically of the United States. At one point, we were a very agricultural country. You can see the pictures on the left. Parts of us still are, but we have become over the years more industrialized. You look at the cities now, you look at small towns in West Texas and how they've shriveled and shrunk. That's because people are moving to cities and suburbs of cities. That's where the jobs are. That's where your skill set is used, and the need for agricultural things, and not necessarily lessened, but the pay is not there, and sometimes climate and other things just don't work for you. Okay, this slide right here talks about, this specific part down here talks about religions. 1,000 different religions in America, religious groups in America, 33,000 different Christian denominations. 85% of the United States is Christian. Okay, and this is human geography, so it's all things encompassing humans: religion, language, economics, society, all of these things. Okay, languages. Here are your languages that are spoken: 82.1% English, 17.9% other. And of the other, Spanish is the big one. Okay, and you can see down here where it talks about the different colors, where the boxes represent Spanish-speaking people, and where the numbers are highest at. Religion, top left, Muslims is 2,000, right? So it's a few years old, but this is Muslims. Okay, and you can see the numbers here. The yellow. It's kind of hard to read, but it's like 0.03 to 0.07. The dark red is 2.2 to higher than that. So that's where your heavy Muslim residents are. And you can see, obviously, the bigger cities, you'll have more of the Muslim representation. So Dallas, Houston, on up. And the dark color areas are your heaviest of the Muslim residents. Bottom left is the Jewish religion, the Jewish faith. You can see the purple is the heavier numbers, where the majority or a higher volume of Jews live. Southern Florida, East Coast over here, southern tip of Nevada. Catholics on the bottom right. The dark blue is your highly Catholic areas. Southern part of Louisiana, southwestern part of Texas, New Mexico, so on and so forth. Church bodies here in the United States specifically, the red of the Baptist. All right, so you can see in the South, it's primarily Baptist. That's where the whole Bible Belt thing comes from. We're talking about perception and perceptual regions. That's where we get the whole Bible Belt from. All these Baptists in the South. Blue is Catholic. Catholic, very, very prominent all over the United States, outside of the Baptist area of the South. Yellow is just the Christian groups who don't really have a certain affiliation with certain denominations, Lutheran, so on and so forth. Urbanization, we talked about, the growth of cities, people moving into cities, and how it's these suburbs have popped up because of the cities growing and kind of spreading out from there. A good thing, obviously, it's a positive thing for certain deals, job opportunities and things of that nature, but also it's a negative with the pressure that it puts on infrastructure. If you don't have the infrastructure or the ability to house a bunch of people, then you're going to be in trouble when all these individuals show up. You're not going to have housing. You're not going to have jobs for them. And if they don't have housing, they don't have jobs, and they turn to other ways to make money and other places to sleep, and that's where crime takes place, drugs and things of that nature. Here are the different regional areas of North America. and the United States specifically, kind of what they're known for. The New England states, you can see the picture at the top left: Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. You know, you can kind of see some things to kind of highlight what they're about, the colors, the scenery, things like that. Up here is a map of the island of Manhattan. Okay, Soho District, Greenwich Village, West Village, East Village. You know, talk about Hollywood celebrities. A lot of your younger celebrities live in those areas, Soho region. But that's Manhattan. Down here, Wall Street area. This is where you had the World Trade Centers, things of that nature down here on the Wall Street area in the southern part of Manhattan Island. The upper Midwest area, you can see the states in the top left. Major cities: Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, St. Louis. There's the arch, not the Golden Arches, that's McDonald's. I'm thinking about food. The arch there in St. Louis, right in the middle. You can see kind of, you just get into Iowa, the wheat field down here on the bottom right. It's a big part of their economy. And storms, especially Iowa, Missouri. The storms there are a big part of their everyday life. South, the southeast part of the country. Cotton right here on the left. You can see this big plantation right here on the bottom. Basically agriculture. You can see this, the different crops you have shown here. And then we have our states of Alaska and Hawaii. Completely different. Both very scenic. The mountains of Alaska, the temperatures, the cold. Then you have the bear there on the bottom left. And then you have Hawaii on the bottom right, mid right, with the tropical looking areas, the beautiful water. Maybe we can all go there for a field trip one day. And then the very far west, you see Las Vegas there on the top. Right here is Las Vegas. Irrigation is a part of their, have to have irrigation opportunities to farm out that way. And you can see just kind of the deserty landscape there. That's kind of the Midwest, on the Dust Bowl area, very dry. The winds, here comes the dust. You can see it afterwards. You can see the dead animals. This is when they had a big old jackrabbit roundup, trying to get rid of them all. And up here is kind of your graph showing you the Dust Bowl itself. The extent of the wind erosion right through here, the Dust Bowl boundary, kind of where it all took place in the darker areas, shaded areas, is where you had 50% or more of the crops destroyed by wind erosion. This is a big part of the area. It's flat, remember. Nothing to keep the wind from blowing. And if you're not getting any rain, you're going to have all kinds of dust flying through. That's the end of the slideshow. Remember, this is human geography. How us, as humans, affect or are affected by the Earth's surface and things on, basically including everything alive. Human geography. Where's the stop button?